Well done, back to my channel. Okay, so today I am making spaghetti and meatballs, but I'm making meatballs from scratch, and I'm using this mild Italian chicken sausage with kale. It's gonna be yummy. Yes, it is. So, I've already cut up an onion. I used probably medium to small white onion for that. I'm also going to be making salad tonight. This thing's so typically I use just regular ground chicken sausage, but when I went to Publix today, I could not find any, so gotta improvise sometimes, and this is what it's gonna be. So, what I do is I'm just gonna get the meat out of the casing, and then it'll just be regular raw chicken sausage. With chicken, because chicken gets it's not as tender as beef or just regular pork sausage. To make the meatballs, you have to kind of add a little extra egg, so that not that it's moist, or it's that way it's not springy like regular chicken is. It's a hot day, Florida, killing me. Trenton, you come here. Hopefully I got crap on. So, you tell them.
This video is real life people. I am not kidding. Real life.
Real life. So I'm just gonna use this bowl to put the chicken sausage in. Kind of put it in though. All right, I'm gonna move this back a little bit. Sorry, you can see my slow cooker in the back. I'm not making anything in it tonight, but I just cleaned it, so I don't want to get it too close to it. Alright, so I'm just gonna squeeze the meat out of the casing. Trenton, are you sure you don't want to help me?
No. I'm sure I don't want to help you.
Stinker. He's a little stinker nugget. He's been doing really good in school, so that's good. So when I get all of the chicken out, I'll put the two pieces of egg. I'll put the 2 eggs in, and then I will. So I'm using 2 pounds of chicken sausage. There's a lot of kids here. And then also I can take some meatballs with me tomorrow. The spaghetti I don't make by myself. I don't make from scratch. Some things I make from scratch and some things I don't. Spaghetti noodles I don't make from scratch. And the spaghetti sauce I don't make from scratch either. So, one day I'll make that from scratch. Today is not that day, but one day. So, that's 1 pound. Here's the other pound. You can go a little faster if you choose to. Yeah. I'm actually making dinner a little bit early today because I'm taking my son to his aunt's house so they can spend some time together tonight. And because I have to work tomorrow, and I have to work, and then he'd be home tomorrow. Which he's not by himself when he's home, but this will give him some time to spend with his aunt, which is always nice. Yeah. So This looks so gross, and I'm sorry. But that's the life of using raw meat, which I like to do. I don't like to use like canned meat, which I will sometimes if I really, really am in a bind. I will. I'll just put it here. So now I have raw meat on my hands, and I don't want to touch anything with it. So I'm just gonna wash my hands really quick, and then I'll be back for the eggs. I'm also gonna put some Parmesan cheese, the onions. I have a little bit of seasoning and spices to put in. I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs and some red wine vinegar. So I'll be back. Trenton, are you sure you don't want to help me squish up the meat? Well, why don't you come see? Why don't you come watch and see if there's something you want to help me with? Please? Trenton? Just come here. Our hands are washed. Here. Perfect. Okay, so before I do the egg, I'm going to put some, this is basil leaves. Basil. I love basil. That's good. So I'm gonna put a little bit of basil in there. And like I've said in a good majority of my other videos, I don't measure, I just shake my seasonings. That's probably about 2 tablespoons. Kind of put a little bit of pepper, not a whole bunch. You wanna help me with the pepper? Yeah? Okay, so you just hold it, we'll shake, we're just a little bit. Just like that, that's good. Perfect. All right, come here. You wanna help me with this?
I'm gonna pour it all in.
We're not pouring all of it in. Okay. Ooh. Okay. A little over here and a little over here. Just a little. Okay, that's good. Good job, bud. All right, and you gotta get some salt. You can't do the salt. Your hands are not washed.
Oh, I want to do the salt.
Okay. I knew it. I knew it. As soon as he came out here to see what I was doing, he'd want to help. That's how you know Mama knows best.
Okay, they're washed now.
Okay. Did you dry them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pinch. Sprinkle all over. All right. Another little pinch. One more little pinch.
Nice. Now you can go wash your hands then.
Do that. There you go. All right. You want to do the eggs?
I'll crack them.
Not on my board. There we go. No. Remember, you do this.
I don't want to push them in.
You don't want to pull it open?
No.
Okay. So I'm using 2 eggs.
Can I push that one in? Push it in?
Yep. All right, you got to hold it. You got to be very careful. You want to use both hands, both thumbs. Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh. There you go. Now you can go wash your hands. Egg go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a little bit of red wine vinegar. I don't measure. I have measuring spoons and measuring cups for when I do baking because I have to measure for that. But I'm just going to Do a little bit. You don't want a lot. That was probably about. That was probably 1 teaspoon. Yeah, that was probably about 1 teaspoon. And then so what you want to do now is, because you have all of your wet stuff, even though, and your spices, even though your meat's not like the wet, but it's, it's still moist. So then you want to mix it all. Trenton, come here, look. What? You're gonna mix it all together. Ew.
Ew.
You wanna do that?
No.
Oh.
You're gonna be super slimy.
Yeah. You get super slimy. So you wanna mix it all together.
If you want to make this food, you have to do this disgusting part. Tell them you do.
Yeah, you do. You have to do this disgusting part. So you just mix it all together until it's well mixed, and then you're gonna put breadcrumbs in there. I'm probably gonna use about a 1/2 cup at a time, and see how it gets. Because you don't want it like soup. You don't want it to be like a sponge, but you don't want it to be like meat soup. Which it's not really meat soup right now, but you still want the breadcrumbs to soak up some of the liquid. So I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup. Get all the meat off. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. Every time you do anything with raw meat with your hands, you really want to wash them. I'm going to add my onions to it too. Onion. I love onion in my meatballs and my meatloaf. I diced them up pretty fine. So I am going to use a measuring cup right now, even though I don't typically. I'm not going to use a 1/2 cup. I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup at a time. Just 1/3 for now. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more. Yeah. I think that's probably enough. And then some Parmesan. Add a nice, yummy flavor. There wasn't a lot of that. So you don't want to use a lot. I'm going to put a little bit more of this garlic and herb seasoning in there. Just to make sure it's seasoned well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after this, I'm going to put them in a frying pan and then kind of sear them up a little bit, because you want them, you don't want them to be gooey or like spongy. You want them to be like a real meatball. So before you go put them in the sauce, you want to cook them a little bit. So there's a little bit of, not crunch, but it has like a little bit of crust on it. Shoot, well, that's cool. That's what I counted for. So I think that I'm probably gonna add just another third of a cup. So that'll be 2/3 of a cup. 2/3 of a cup that I'm adding. This is not a recipe. This is really just something I'm throwing together right now. I just throw things together sometimes, and that's what I do for dinner. This really is not like a super crazy meal, like I said, because I'm just going to be doing the spaghetti, which I actually have to get put on the stove here in a minute. I have to form the meatballs. So I'm not going to make my meatballs too big or too small. So I am going to put a little bit more breadcrumbs in there. Probably, like I said, it'll be 2/3 of a cup instead of 1/3 of a cup. Don't want to waste any. Okay, so now I'm going to do another. So I have 1/3 cups of breadcrumbs in my meat mixture now. And this is another 1/3 of a cup. So that makes 2/3 of a cup. And then if I feel like it's not the right texture, what we can do is we can always add like another egg or add another thing of, add a little bit more of the red wine vinegar. But right now, this texture feels perfect. So we'll see how this goes. So this is the fun part about making meatballs, is you kind of really, you can use a spoon, but using your hands is really going to be better. If you don't like using your hands, like I said, you can use a spoon, but using your bare hands really does the job. It really does a better job. And it's more fun. It really is. Oh, that's literally like the perfect texture right there. That's the perfect texture. That's what you want. That's how you want your meatballs to be. It's about the texture. Like I said, you want it to be kind of almost like meatloafy texture. That way you can stick it together. You want it to be a little sticky, but you don't want it to be runny and soupy. Like I said, I'm not going to make a huge ball, but I'm going to make a few. Like a good size one. So I wash my hands again because I am going to be forming the meatballs, but I do have to get out the pan and put some olive oil in it, because you do want some olive oil. About the pan. This is the perfect size pan. See, it's a little too big. It's bigger than my face. This is the perfect size pan that you want to use. I'm going to, like I said, put some, I don't want that on there. Put some olive oil in there. You can probably hear the thunder. If you can't, it's not that bad. You don't want to you don't want to like have a pool of oil in the bottom of your pan, but you do want a good size coat. So here's the trick. You don't want too many meatballs in the pan because you'll end up burning some. So you kind of have to take it a little bit slowly. So I'm going to start working on the noodles now before I move on with the meatballs. I need to get a pan. So, that was not a good size pan. I feel like this might work out to be the perfect size pan for my spaghetti noodles. What you want to do is you want to fill it with water. Then you want to put a little olive oil in there. You want to put salt and olive oil because both of those elements will help to keep your spaghetti from sticking and forming to each other, which you don't want globs of spaghetti noodles. Those aren't fun. A little bit of olive oil, probably about a few tablespoons. Some salt. Lots salt. You want some salt. I always use Himalayan pink salt. I always use olive oil. Always, always, always. If you're anywhere near a Costco, I get this from Costco. It's Himalayan pink salt. It's really good. It helps with the negative ions in the air and just negative ions in general. And then I also get this olive oil. Whatever olive oil you like to use, hey, whatever floats your boat. Same with the salt. If you don't like pink Himalayan salt, don't use pink Himalayan salt. The food police are not going to come hunt you down and tell you you're using the wrong thing. They just won't. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to turn on my stove now for the hotels. And then that will cook. Was that a little scary? It's okay. Remember, we're inside. It's not going to get us.
Oh, I heard a nice electronic crackle.
you turn off the AC?
No, maybe I should.
Maybe. It's always raining here. It's always storming. It's always thunderstorming, lightning storming.
Gotta
Beautiful.
save the last AC. I heard some kind of electronic crack in my office.
So now I have the water going for the spaghetti noodles. I heard that it's really good for you to wash your, not wash, but rinse off your pasta noodles because it also, that also helps it to not stick together. But spaghetti is really hard to rinse because it always falls right through the colander,
I
which
love you,
is
Mama.
not fun. I love you, honeybee. So I'm going to take my chances today and kind of experiment. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little 5-finger pinch. You don't want a huge one. You don't want to take a handful. You just want to do like a little pinch. And whatever size meatball you choose to do, that is up to you. Like I said, I am not going to sick the food police on you if you don't make your meatballs the same size as mine. To be honest, I won't even know. So, another little 5-finger pinch. Sometimes I make them all different sizes. I'm gonna work really hard today on making them all the same size. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it's helpful if you put a little bit of olive oil on your hands and then the meat won't stick so much. You don't want to put them touching. You don't want to put them too far apart. You want to make sure that you can have a good amount. You want to get a good amount in the pan because like I said, you don't want to stack them on top of each other because you don't want them to burn. A little 5-finger pinch. If the light goes out, it is thunderstorming right now. Lightning storming. Thunder and lightning storming. It's a possibility. My iPad will keep recording, luckily. My stove will keep going, luckily. So, it's all good. All good in this kitchen. Sometimes I wish I was doing a Facebook Live video. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm just gonna roll my chicken sausage meatballs into balls, and then I'm going to put them on the stove to brown them and just get like a nice little crispy crust on them. So I'm going to do...
Mommy.
Yes, honey?
Mommy, is dinner gonna be ready?
Don't speak to me that way. That's rude.
When is dinner gonna be ready? Because it's gonna be dark by the time we get at Aunt Lenny's house.
Well, your Aunt Lenny doesn't get off work yet. Your Aunt Lenny's at work right now.
When does she get off?
Your Aunt Lenny gets off work at 6 o'clock.
What time is it?
It's 4:40. I'm gonna have that smoothie now. So, if your chicken sausage does not form into a perfect ball, that's all right as well. like I said, I didn't make my spaghetti from scratch. I'm not making the spaghetti sauce from scratch, but I am making the meatballs, which is why I wanted to do the video on the meatballs. I'm also going to make a salad, which it's really just going to be spinach, cucumbers, and onion, and bell pepper. So I'm going to turn off this video because, like I said, the spaghetti's really not, you know, no, I'm not going to turn off the video. I'll keep it going. And then I'll make, after I do this little batch of meatballs, then I'll cut up the vegetables for the salad. I'm losing my mind today. I'll cut up the vegetables for the salad, and then I will check on the meatballs because the water still isn't boiling. We got a little bit to go with that. Honestly, when you rinse your pasta, since I've seen Gordon Ramsay's video about rinsing pasta, the best way to make pasta, like make pasta perfect, you rinse it, and it really does. It works. It makes really amazing pasta. But I've done spaghetti noodles, and they really just slip right through the holes of the colander. So I am going to do multiple batches of meatballs, but just put them in a circle, line the pan with a circle, and then do another thing. Because it doesn't take too long for chicken itself to cook. Chicken doesn't take that long to cook. I'm not sitting here rolling them up anymore because it did start to get a little tedious. It was taking a little bit of time, so I'm just going to do the best I can to get it formed into a ball. And then that one's a little bit bigger. Just added a little extra. My hands are literally covered in raw chicken sausage. Okay. See, I doubt myself sometimes, and I start to add more, and then I add more, and then it's too big. So there we go. All right, that's perfect. I'm gonna wash my hands and then stick them on the stove.
Can you eat raw chicken when it's raw?
No. It'll make your belly hurt. Please don't play with my bracelet. Oh yeah, please don't play with it. Thank you. Okay. Turn that on. So my water still is not boiling. I'm gonna put this over here and then I'm gonna move y'all.
Can I move it?
No.
I'll move this part.
No, go. I said no. Go Go eat your smoothie. Thank you. So, what we're gonna do is, I don't know why I moved you, because I still have to cut up the vegetables for the salad. You know, after I cut up the vegetables for the salad, then I think that I'll turn it off, because you don't want to you just want your meatballs to get a little brown. And sometimes they could take a while to do that. You don't want to put it on high. Right now I have it on low, and that's probably a good temperature to have it on, just because you don't want them to burn, and sometimes when you try to cook them too fast, that's what will happen. Right now my water hasn't even started boiling for the spaghetti, so there we go. I have this amazing knife that I got from IKEA. I absolutely love it. It's so super sharp.
Is that your new knife, Mama?
This is my new knife.
Like, and I have a piece of green cucumber.
Yes. So what I typically do is, whenever I cut up vegetables for a salad, I cut them, well, if it's cucumber, I will cut it into 4 quarters, because sometimes the cucumber can take up a whole lot of space in your bowl, and even though I love cucumber, sometimes I don't want it to take up that much space. I will put an onion in it, and then my bell peppers. I love a lot of different types of veggies in my salad. I love onions, cucumbers, and bell peppers. Hey, no, don't grab it, please. I'm cutting, and this knife is very sharp.
And this one could be fake. And I don't want it.
So, my cucumbers typically end up coming out to be a little bit different size. Some of them are a little thicker than the other, and that's okay. It's just going to be a salad. But I try to make them not super thin. Please don't do that. I don't try to make them super thin, but I don't try to make them super thick. You want them to be like a good size. Whatever size works for you and your salad. I just made that one. Oopsies. Have your smoothie or put it back in the freezer. So, I'm not the biggest tomato person. I don't really like tomato, so I don't typically put tomato in my salad. All right, the water is starting to boil, which is a good sign.
On our feet. Oh, it's the roll boil.
Yeah, so you want it, when you're cooking pasta, you want it to come to a rolling boil. Trenton, put that smoothie away. So, my water has now come to a rolling boil. I'm going to turn it down because it's on high. I'm going to turn it down to in between medium and low. Because my stove is a gas stove, it stays hot more evenly throughout the pan, which means it stays pretty much a good temperature the whole time. Instead of when you turn it down on an electric, it cools down pretty quickly. Mine does not do that. Cooking my fingers. you break them in half, and then yeah, I'll give you some to put in there. Wash your fingers. Yeah, go wash your hands.
Okay.
Quickly. So I always break my spaghetti noodles in half. It just helps them cook a little more evenly. And then they also don't stick together so much. So I just break them in half. Here you go. All right. You just want to drop them in there. That's all you gotta do. Drop them in there. Not roll. Drop. There you go. All right. Now we're gonna let that cook. I'm actually gonna put a little more in there because I don't know what that's gonna do. My chicken sausage is cooking. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, good job. No, okay. Don't put any of those in that back of my.
I'm gonna throw them away.
Yeah. All right. So now that those are cooking with some olive oil, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use the same utensil for rolling my meatballs because you really don't want to. Because you don't want the raw meat and the noodles to combine. That can cause contamination, and that's not good. So I have this amazing spoon. I got it from IKEA. I love it. As you can see, the tip right here is kind of like scooped out, and then it's also a little bit of curved and riveted right here and flat, which is perfect for rolling.
It looks like a rope. It's probably sticking here.
Sticking a little bit. Because my water is spewing all over the place. A good indication that your chicken is cooking is it will turn white, a whitish color. Spaghetti pasta doesn't typically need to cook for too long. I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. It was in the eye.
I'm sorry. Would you, here, let me put it.
Huh?
Would you go get me the,
What?
the spinach out of the refrigerator? You know, I'm gonna have to get it because our refrigerator is really full right now. Okay. So, you want to be careful because right now my chicken sausage is kind of
Got the spinach.
starting to get a little too cooked
Here,
on
Mama.
one side. Thank you, honey. So I'm using baby spinach. I use pre-washed Vegetables, if you don't get pre-washed vegetables, just rinse them very good. So. I love vegetables. Okay. You do kind of want to roll them around a little bit because you want them to be evenly cooked. But you need to be careful because when they start to get brown, you need to take them off. And I've actually got to dump my spaghetti, or else my spaghetti is going to be overcooked. And overcooked spaghetti, not delicious. So, here we go. Trenton, you shouldn't be running in the house. I feel like I'm a broken record sometimes. Trenton, I just told you something. Broken record. That's all. He's surviving. Alright, I'm gonna go roll around my sausage again. My suggestion is to check to make sure that it is done. You want to take one, break it open, and see if it's white all the way through. If there's pink in the middle, it's still raw, so they are not done yet. That is my suggestion. Okay, so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want it to be any longer, my video. It's almost 15 minutes. So, that's how I do my meatballs. That's how I cut my cucumbers. I'm going to show you quickly how to do a bell pepper. I saw this demonstration by Gordon Ramsay. He literally just cut it like that, and then he just kind of cut it down and around, and then you won't get like the white. So you want to cut it like that and around to the bottom. You want to cut it down and around to the bottom. And then you can cut, you know, some more of your pepper off, which I will do. And then I will cut them into squares. I will show you what the meat looks like. There we go. Sorry this video is so long. That's kind of a cooking video for you. So, that's how you cut the pepper. You just cut down and around. You don't get all the white. And then my chicken sausage. Meatballs are, that's what they look like. So yummy. They're done. They're ready to go. Thank you for watching. If you like my cooking videos and you like all of the cooking that I do, please give it a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, and also hit the little bell so that you get
And also,
you get
if
notifications.
look right down here. If you look on YouTube, you like a video, there's a thumb up and a thumb down. If you hit the thumb down, that means you do not like it. But if you do like it, just hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, and then also leave us a comment on what you liked about the video,
And
or
please
if you have.
subscribe at the down below. And if you wanna come visit us, you can.
We don't tell the address. Not on the internet.
Okay.
So, yes. If you like our video, give us a big thumbs up. I'm bringing my friends in. If you like our video, give us a big thumbs up. That way we know. Hit the bell.
The side.
Hold on, please. Hit the bell so that you get our notifications when I upload a new video. Leave a comment down below on some ideas or your favorite recipe so that I can cook it up and make a video about it. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
See you later. And also, if you like this video, and you want to visit us, what's your phone number?
No.
Okay. But
Say thank you for watching. Have a
thank
great
you
night.
for watching. Have a great night and have a great dinner.
Bye.